Okay, I've got an interesting one for you today. I've got Captain Marvel from MF Enterprises, issue 1 from April of 1966. And I'm sure this is a Captain Marvel you've never heard of. You have the first Captain Marvel from Fawcett Comics from 1940 to 1953, and then he was revived by DC Comics 1972 to present. He's been renamed Shazam. And in between there, you have the Marvel Comics version of Captain Marvel, 1967 to present, and they've named many different characters Captain Marvel since then, and they retain the rights to the name. And you'll also see here, plus a bonus feature, Plastic Man. But this is not the Plastic Man you're used to. That one came from Quality Comics, 1941 to 1956. And then acquired by DC Comics, 1966 to present. No, this is a different Plastic Man and a different Captain Marvel. MF Enterprises was a company that produced black and white horror magazines, and they dipped their toes into making comic books with this one. And it lasted 4 issues plus 2 more from a spin-off series. And they also did 7 issues of an Archie's kind of rip-off series, but that was it. Then they stopped making comics. So then Marvel Comics was able to snag the name Captain Marvel. As for Plastic Man, he was renamed Elastic Man after this first appearance, which I think is a more fitting name for these stretchy characters. I mean, Plastic Man, you don't think of plastic being stretchy, or Mr. Fantastic. No, Elastic Man. I'm surprised they never did that. In fact, there's another DC copycat character. He's called Elongated Man. But he's not elongated. He can elongate himself, but it's weird. So let's take a look inside. So it says he's based on a character created by Carl Burgos. Now, Carl Burgos is the creator of the original Human Torch, the android, and this Captain Marvel is also an android. And all I can figure from this is, I don't know, maybe he just created the character and then handed it off to the team of writer Roger Elwood and artist Francho. But he did not work on this comic. I don't think he did the cover. It doesn't look like his work. But what do I know? So this first story has Captain Marvel waking up, trying to figure out who he is. He's in a hospital. And as they start to explain to him, his memories start to come back. So he is a human robot named Captain Marvel. He comes from outer space. He says the word split and his body parts come apart, and then he says Zam and they come back together. He has this costume that looks burgundy inside, but red on the cover. Well, it's kind of a burgundy as well. And a letter M on an emblem on his chest. He also has a lot of different powers that we'll see throughout. So he was built on this alien world to carry with him the knowledge and experiences of those aliens as their world was going to blow up. And he is their survivor to be cast out into space and carry their legacy with him, I guess, kind of like Superman. Now here you see the indicia has been placed on page 5. The significance of this is legally this is supposed to be on page 1. The fact that they didn't put it on page 1 means that when this comic came out, it was automatically in the public domain. They did not copyright the character properly or the story. Very weird. You would think they would know something like that, or maybe not. I mean, this is their first foray into making comics, and they just did it wrong. They figured out, no room here, we'll stick it here. Looks like they even it's the first page with artwork that's small enough. Maybe it was an afterthought, like, hey, whoa, we gotta make room for the indicia. Well, I'm already several pages in, just do it. Well, who cares at that point? But it doesn't matter because they stopped making comics pretty soon afterwards. So Captain Marvel has an energy source that runs out every day. He has to rub this, what they call a medallion. Just looks like a chest emblem, and that looks like a collar. It doesn't really look like a necklace with an medallion, as they put it, but I don't know. He has to rub it, and then he gets his energy back. And they also give him these boots that allow him to fly and levitate. They're anti-gravity. You can go through space. Here he is on Earth, and he has befriended this young boy, Billy. Billy knows his secret, and they go on adventures. That's basically the origin of Captain Marvel. And that ends it. Now, these comics back then, they were anthology series, so they had short stories in them. But this one is all Captain Marvel stories, so each new story is just the next chapter in this continuing adventure of Captain Marvel. So it's kind of like watching episodes of a TV show. So here we have the first adventure, continuing off from where they left off. They were going on a trip, and here he is. Well, he left Billy behind, and he mentions that here. On the plane, they're confronted by these giant faces. They crash, and Captain Marvel goes to investigate. He finds this giant computer, alien language, Yubi-Waza. No, so we have these giant face creatures, and Captain Marvel is exploring, and here they are. They're funny looking. So they capture him. He escapes. He has eye lasers like Superman. He, of course, has his splitting power. They're in a panic, trying to capture him. I love this panel here where he escapes through the ground, this cutaway. I love drawing stuff like that when I was a kid, this kind of thing. It's pretty funny. Well, he escapes, so they capture the rest of the crew, or they're trying to trick them into finding out who Captain Marvel is, and then build a prison for themselves, which they suspect. And it turns out the aliens, these giant faces, whatever they are, can read the humans' minds. Doesn't matter. They've captured all the prisoners. They want to hold them until they release Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel hears them say, hey, look, we just need your help because we want to get back to where we come from. That's all. And he says, well, I'll help you. Just replace the people. They go, okay, we'll replace the people. Just help us. And he does. He helps them out. And it turns out these big face people, they're good guys. They are just desperate. They want to get back to their home dimension. And he uses his various powers, electricity absorption and what have you, to help them. And he gets them back to their home dimension. In return, they help, they've let the prisoners go, they fly away, and then they use their extra dimensional powers to take Captain Marvel and deposit him on the plane as they vanish. The end to that story. Oh, true love. Monsters from outer space, giant inflatable toys, cool. And now we go to the next one. Captain Marvel and Billy, they see a meteor crashing. It goes into the water and takes a rest. It is another spaceship. More visitors from outer space. These are blue people. They come ashore to explore, and a couple of rednecks shoot them down. Now they're mad. So now they're going to war. They're going to destroy the dam. Captain Marvel hears it, slips into his super suit, and the tidal wave then crashes over him and Billy. So now Captain Marvel must search for Billy. He cannot find him because Billy has been sucked into the sunken ship. He's taken prisoner. The blue alien people are arguing amongst themselves. They're supposedly good guys, but there is an angry guy here who is in charge, and he zaps one of the peaceful aliens back into a prison. Captain Marvel, utilizing his powers of invulnerability to absorb bullets, some kind of sound wave weapon to take out their weapons, convinces them, take me to your leader. And they go in the submarine, goes on board the alien ship, and they trap him in a trapdoor. He goes down into a prison where he battles. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, it is Plastic Man. That's what we've been waiting for. And they battle. He wins the fight, comes back aboard, talks to the blue people. Now, like the big boss has arrived and says, hey, come on, we're good people. Release the prisoner. There's Billy. Hey, good to see each other. And now, what do you guys want? Well, turns out they've been at war with these creatures called Gronks. What is a Gronk? Plastic Man is a Gronk. And they've got one on board. They're trying to, get away from the Gronks. They're a peaceful people. They're in this atomic war. Gronk is bouncing around. He escapes. Now he is loose on the Earth, tagging along on top of this truck. And the blue aliens just want to go home. Captain Marvel goes in search of Plastic Man, finds him on top of this building. They get into another battle. It's pretty cool. They're using their different powers, tricking each other. Captain Marvel wins again, and Plastic Man escapes again. The aliens go home. They leave Plastic Man here, as you can see. Sorry, Plastic Man has stolen clothes. He's now disguised himself and walks amongst the normal humans, and that's where they leave off. with this cliffhanger. So you have your 3 stories, and you can see what happens next in issue 2. Kind of interesting. I don't know if I will get the further issues. I may. Wasn't all that entertaining or exciting. The artwork wasn't really all that great, but it is interesting, and I got this kind of cheap. This is one of the rare times where something popped up on eBay and it was up for auction as opposed to a buy it now, and nobody was bidding on it. And so I put a low bid and I won and I got it, and so now it's a part of my collection. And now you know about it as well. So let me know what you thought. Leave a comment below. Click the like, click the subscribe, click the red bell to notify you of every time I post a video, and all that good stuff. Until next time.